All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Echad Barash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Stone. Shalom to the elect pushing this world with truth and in sincerity. With the hope of receiving mercy of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai. Yahweh is the name of the Heavenly Father. Yahushai is the name of his only begotten Son. And the so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans are the Israelites according to the prophecies that are written in the scriptures. I want to make it known that RFID microchip is the MOTB. The serpent juice is the precursor to the MOTB. Yahweh Shai, whom girlingly called Jesus, is about to make his return upon the earth to deliver his elect and to pour out judgment as it is written. So I'm going to go straight into this lesson. I'm not going to make this video very long, but what's taking place right now in the world concerning these aerial phenomenon, of the world. I want to just say America or Russia. I would have said the world. All these countries around the world, you see me, the chariots of the Lord have them shook, yo. They don't know how to play this, they don't know how to hide it anymore because it's becoming so evident. So them even have to try to play some type of mind games with the inhabitants of the earth. Because Yahweh Shimei Shai is revealing himself more and more through various signs and wonders. And sighting of the chariots, which I'm called UAP, and unidentified aerial phenomenon. But you're seeing these things, they're showing up more clearer and clearer as we're drawing closer and closer to the end of this age. And it's getting even more obvious to the point that the mafia bring out certain information, the mafia disclose certain information. So I just want to bring out this precept and jump straight into the video. So this is 2nd Ezra 9, going to the point, verse 4. Then thou shalt well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. For like as all that is made in the world, at a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest, even so the times also there is a plain beginning in wonders and powerful works, and ending in effects and signs. So these are some of the effects and signs that Yahweh Shimei Shai do in these last days. If you remember good, in Luke, I want to say 21 verse around 11, it said, and great earthquakes shall be in diverse places. And this is what we're witnessing now. You have a 7.7 earthquake shook Thailand or there, because the dead told us to reach what 3,000 odd died, and still searching for more. Just showing you what's really going on. In the Caribbean, you have clusters of earthquake just popping off in the Caribbean region. These things are all signs of the end. Because just qualify, if I read 2nd is just on the first paragraph, it tells us you're supposed to measure the time diligently in itself. And you measure the time by the signs that are coming to pass. So going back to Luke 21 verse 11, it says, and great earthquakes shall be in diverse places, and famines, and pestilence, and fearful sights, and great signs shall there be from heaven. And this is one of the signs that is playing out now. So let's jump straight into the clip.
On all. Welcome back, and guess what? There is some brand new UAP video that just dropped, possibly shot from a Navy ship, once again, off the coast of Southern California, which for some reason, has been this very, very weird hotspot for all kinds of unidentified flying objects that don't seem to care that there are all kinds of Navy warships that are out there training.
I mean, let's be realistic. This is not a foreign entity. If it was, they would control us. It's not China, it's not Russia, it's something else, and we need to address it. And we're not. And it's been a cover-up since Roswell. The Russians, the Chinese, every one of them has a Roswell-type incident that they'll talk about. We need to get it out in the public. You see these pictures. These are obviously not American aircraft. If you believe your Bible, read first chapter of Ezekiel. Ezekiel saw the wheel. It pretty much describes what you would describe now as a UFO, an aircraft from outer space that comes and lands on the planet Earth. I mean, read it. I know everybody's going to say I'm a tinfoil hat wearing redneck, but the reality is there's something out there, and we're not addressing it.
Transparency breeds trust. New boss, same as the old boss. This administration is no better when it comes to transparency about UAPs. Investigative journalist Jeremy Corbell, along with his partner George Knapp, got their hands on newly released Navy footage of UFO sightings from 2023. What you're looking at right now is the footage and what Corbell believes to be one of 4 tic-tac-shaped UFOs, I'm sure there's a better way to talk about them, emerging from the water, then flying at supersonic speeds. Out of the water, supersonic. How? Corbell then spoke to an unnamed member of the Navy who witnessed these firsthand, said this.
To see the lights emerging from water, what we witnessed was all 4 of them, all in synchronous, jetting off into the abyss. All 4, all timed together, and all left. And we were like, holy shit. Maybe 3-4 seconds pass, I run to my station and I look at my radar and they're all gone.
Now, quick refresh about why this area matters so much. 2004, we've all seen this video that was showing what was described by Navy pilots flying off the USS Nimitz as a white tic-tac that was zooming around in ways and speeds they just could not explain. In 2019, sailors on the USS Russell, again, off the coast of San Diego, seeing what they described in night vision goggles as upside-down pyramids, and then brings us to today. This new infrared video just released by documentary filmmaker Jeremy Corbell showing what he says was an incident on the USS Jackson. It's one of these littoral ships, one of the highest tech ships that we have in our arsenal. And according to Corbell, Navy sailors were actively tracking one of 4 unknown objects observed going in and out of the water. No heat plumes, no exhaust, nothing. And here is how one of the witnesses on board the ship described it.
I go out to the bridge wing. I'm noticing things and lights on the horizon and like city lights or any other ships that are out there. So seeing a light that is lifting up, you can see it. I know the difference between a light on the horizon coming up and a light coming out of the water. When you've been on the water more in your life than you haven't been, you know the difference.
Yeah, man, this is an interesting case. There is power in military footage. It's few and far between that we get great sensor data on something that is truly anomalous, and that's what we're seeing here, backed up, of course, by the eyewitness testimony. This ship is one of the most technologically equipped ships, but additionally, this is a senior ranking Navy official who I believe will end up coming forward. They saw these craft coming out of the water, at least one of them coming out of the water. That's transmedium. This is in the Combat Information Center. Also, they saw 4 of them in total. They saw them on radar, then they picked them up in thermal. That's why it looks black and white. But if you look at a plane through that system, you see wings, a tail, exhaust, rotors, all sorts of heat signatures. You're not seeing that here. So again, it was tracked on radar, tracked on thermal. There was a kind of a synchronized, coordinated, instantaneous departure described to me and George Knapp by the first-hand witnesses. This is really reminiscent of the 2004 Tic Tac UFO, where Commander David Fravor, who testified in front of Congress, chased a UFO for the United States military. Cat's out of the bag. Sailors are seeing stuff, and now we have more evidence. And in fact, these are senior ranking Navy officials. They don't want to go by their full identity at this time, but they will at some point. They're in the Combat Information Center. They get this footage. It's FLIR, forward-looking infrared. So it's black and white. What you're supposed to be seeing, we don't see. We don't see tails. We don't see thermal plumes. We don't see any signature of a normal aircraft. So that's what makes this case fascinating. We have both witnesses coming forward as well as the hardcore data and evidence.
And does that mean white is hot, black is hot there, or what's the thermal imaging and like why do we see that tic-tac shade?
Sure. Yeah, so this is in black hot. It can switch between the two. But what's really important about this is that the high-ranking Navy official said, we saw one of these come up out of the water. We then went to radar and we saw 4 of them. We then took our thermal cameras and we looked at one. And when you look at a plane, it looks like a plane. This doesn't look like a plane. In fact, it looks like the Tic Tac from 2004, where Commander David Fravor chased a UFO for the United States military. So look, it's tracked on radar, it's tracked on FLIR. We're lucky to have some of this footage that you're able to see now. But what you're not seeing, Gotti, is you're not seeing the typical signatures you'd see on an aircraft. This is a very unique propulsion system. It appears from this footage. And again, people have come forward and risked to bring this footage to me and George Knapp. And as journalists, we have a duty to put it out after investigating it. I'm glad that it's out now.
Yeah, and I'm glad you're putting it out too. And again, you know, we are.
So as you can see, you have so much things taking place right now, yo. As it is written in, let me get this precept as it came to mind right away. Romans 13 verse 11. And that knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep, for now is our salvation nearer than when we believe. And these chariots we are seeing at the sky, you know, which people refer to as UFOs or UAPs. These are the chariots of our deliverance, yeah. This is Jeremiah 10, verse 1. And I read, Hear ye the word which Yahweh spake it unto you, O house of Israel. Thus saith Yahweh, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven. For the heathen are dismayed at them. And as you can see just a while by, the men them who speak, they are dismayed. Them can't comprehend how them not see none of the proportion system them, you know, not where allow it to fly and move and do the type of maneuvers it is doing. It is out of their realm of understanding. Regular here, the scientists come and say these chariots are against the laws of their known physics. But we have said to you so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans that these chariots are spiritual crafts. And their spirit is tied to the commander of the chariots, which are the angels. So read Ezekiel, the 1st chapter. They're in sync. So I hope this was edifying, you know. This was just a quick video that I saw that name, and Spirit was on me to just attack this, you know. Showing him, and these are signs at the end of this age. So that I want to say, Kalalal, Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashim Akar Kodash, Shalom.